So how many languages do you speak?
I speak couple of languages. Fluently, I can speak English and Hindi. Then I can also speak Braj, which is a language of some parts of UP. And then I can also speak a tint of Rajasthani and Marwadi. And I
Mm-hmm.
can understand them fully, but I can't really speak them very fluently. And then now I'm able to understand Bhojpuri as well.
And did you learn Kannada language in APU a
Just
little
some
bit?
words, which
Okay.
little bit in terms of the words, not really, because it was a typical language. So, I learned few words, but gradually with the course of time, I realized that my South Indian friends taught me very inappropriate words to be used.
Close friends and where are they from? Means
Okay, so
which
when it
languages
comes
do
to
they
my
speak?
close friends, close friends from APU particularly, one is from Uttar Pradesh, one is from Himachal Pradesh, the other one is from Delhi, one is from Chhattisgarh, one is from Karnataka. No, I think one is from Madhya Pradesh. Yeah, okay,
Yes.
and then one of them is from Tamil Nadu, and one of
Okay.
them is from Karnataka, maybe like pan India. And then some distance friends are also from Assam and Jammu Kashmir.
Okay.
But very close ones are the
Mix.
previous
Yeah.
states that I took. A lot
Okay.
of people.
And do you think means how is the use or maybe scope of other languages like maybe German or French or Spanish? Do you think it is useful, or have you ever think of learning, or I don't know, maybe in have you think about these languages? I can understand
Um,
if we want to go there, maybe at that time we need to think, but still.
there were a lot of friends of mine who used to learn French, okay,
Okay.
and from the time we were in school. But when it comes to learning those, I never felt the need, because
Okay.
I really support that fact of Ramakant Agnihotre. There was this reading, I would love to quote from him. He's a fabulous writer, that the home language of the student or the
Mm-hmm.
child should not be taken out as a sleeper outside the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the statement that I've always looked forward to. And that's for that fact I now have this very, strong perception that I really feel that we really don't need other languages. If we can accept the language we are good at, maybe the history might be in the making. I
Okay.
always
And
used to think in language dynamics, and which is a bit off discussion, but I would still like to ask your view on that. When we speak, like English, okay, we should learn English. It's a global language. Who made it? Humans only, Why
mm-hmm.
not Hindi then? So, that's the thought that I have developed after ABU, that why not the language and the culture that we have? Hindi,
Mm-hmm.
Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, whatever. The Indian language is what I'm talking of in general.
So basically, it shows that the thing Britishers want to do, they did it very well, and it shows that we are still labor of them, or
I
something
would
like
not
that.
say we are still the labor of them, but I would just say,
Yeah,
because that is
if
a very
they
harsh
are,
statement to be used,
because
but yeah.
wherever the French people rule, these all colonies are having a second or first language is a French. The Portuguese rule the places or countries. The Portuguese or Spanish are there as a second language. So
Mm.
this kind of thing is happening everywhere, not just in India. South Africa
Actually,
also have an
maybe
English language. Canada was a French colony, so they if you want to go to Canada and get a job while studying, you have to learn French. So it shows that you know this language and this culture uh, get impacted uh, even after 200 years of uh, burden on India. Something like that.
maybe that's
And
for a fact that we have stopped reflecting. I
so
really believe,
basically,
what is the core problem? It's about that we don't reflect on what we do. Let's say there are two individuals, okay? One committed murder. Okay,
mhm,
murder would be too severe. Let's say there are two individuals and one did something wrong that he or she shouldn't have done. But the best part would be the other person would be coming to tell this guy or whosoever this fellow is that, you did wrong. The person who has done it would not feel so. Why? Because they don't have the habit of reflecting onto themselves.
Mhm.
So, this is something that is a feedback to all the nationwide people, that instead of saying that we were slaves and the mentality of slaves is in us, I really believe that whatever it was, today we being, 21st century people, I really believe that we just need to start reflecting in terms of culture, tradition, each and everything. And I believe then these things, the mentality and all things, it's gonna change for a fact, because then you would be, comparing the two views that I have and you have
That is
in terms of a lot of different things.
different thing, but actually when I see this language issue, so as an example, in the European countries, they have a different countries who speak a single language, like Germany speak German, France speak French, Italy speak Italian. So they have divided based on the language, while in India we are multilingual. So we need maybe some common language to speak with each other, or we,
I don't agree with that. There
as an
was a huge
example,
debate in the university for that,
yeah, but just I am saying
and that's
that
when we
as an
believe that,
example,
yeah,
south
okay.
in south part of India they don't want Hindi as a language, right? They don't like, they want their language, they want to preserve their language or whatever they have a feeling. Because I also visited Bangalore. If I speak ask in Hindi, nobody will reply. uh, at auto
Okay.
rickshaw or lot of places we need to speak English, then they reply in a kind of little bit better way. If you speak in Hindi, then maybe they will ignore or something like that, because they want to give priority to their language. So basically I just want to say that Indian people have to preserve their language, each state or each region, and they can not to bound just English. They can be multilingual. They can also, in maybe in curriculum, they can add. They can speak German as well. They can speak Chinese as well. So India actually, today I was watching one video about economy of India. Why India is not actually superpower like China or USA. So in that video, they are saying that because there is a issues and debates going on because of Russia-Ukraine war, and now Donald Trump become a president in US, and he want to be superpower and rule whole world. China is also doing something. So basically, there is one discussion of what we are lacking of. So actually, our economy is closed economy. So we are not actually selling or giving a lot of things to other countries, like because whatever we had, it's looted by Mughals, and after that Britishers. So right now we don't have that amount of natural resources and anything like Arabic countries have. So something like that, So right now we are fighting inside the our India, and government is also thinking about just to preserve everything or earn money in 5 years, because they don't know, maybe next 5 years will not they have, which is not a problem in China. So I just want to
Maybe.
say that as an example, a lot of Americans, they are learning Hindi as well. They also learn Chinese as well. They also learn Japanese as well, because they want to expand their business. If you are bound to your language, and if you say I will not learn any language, everybody speak my language, and then I will do something with you. So I guess Indian people can every person can be a multilingual if they remove the fear of learning multiple language. So this is my understanding. There is no need of central language. Maybe in India I can speak maybe Marathi and Kannada, as well as some Assamese. I have to think from maybe any age to learn these kind of things. Even I can speak Chinese, so I can deal with China as well. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So even the people who are speaking English in USA, they have to learn Chinese and Russian language because they want to make a business with them. So if we want to go global, really, English is not only the language which we need to learn. We have to learn other language to make things happen. Okay, yeah. Did you try to think about, actually you are teaching in the school, but have you maybe think of so basically I want to ask that have you think of teaching in maybe IELTS coaching institutes, or maybe CAT or some kind of competitive exam, or you like to teach higher standards like high school and those places, or did you try to teach on any online platform as a personal tutor? Yeah, you don't
So
have
the thing
time
is,
right
when
now,
it comes
but
to,
still,
sorry?
yeah, actually you don't have much time to do a lot of things. So
Okay, that way. No, I don't agree to that. I believe I have ample amount of time, and because of that, I believe I'm good with managing everything together. Touch wood on that for sure.
that's
But
cool.
when it comes to teaching, I do enjoy teaching. I always say that teaching small grades is not my forte. Like when I say small grades, primary, pre-primary, HKG, UKG students is not something that I can deal. I can teach up to senior secondary, higher secondary. That is like the place I think
Mature
I best
kids.
suit for, because the pedagogy that I work up with can imply on those and obviously higher grades. When it comes to online teaching, no, I haven't. Yes, but there were a lot of online things available and stuff. But I never just got, into interest into all those things, because when I come from office, I really write. So I really try to just focus on that and write some articles and, like maybe have my own things going on. So there was this research that I was working on lately. So, when with research, there are thousands of data that you have to get through, hundreds of readings. So for that fact, he didn't go for those areas. Yes, when it comes to, I was being offered from a lot of institute to teach English into competitive exams. So, there are a lot of government exams that happen which require English people to be there. English people in terms of who can teach English. So I was being offered for that as well. But, obviously I denied for a fact, because I believe that right now I can either earn money or I can increase my knowledge base. And I think money can be earned anytime. There is no age for that. But I think right now, I believe being like maybe the younger self of mine, I just feel that right now I'm in a zone where I just need to expand this knowledge base first. And then maybe like, I can work out on a way out of it. So for that fact, I'm not doing it. But yes, there are a couple of offers that I've gotten. For coaching also, I got a lot of offers from NEET people, because,
Yeah,
they
yeah. They
sometimes
also need
offer this
English.
whole package thing. Yeah, like 11, 12, and then, 10th, 11, 12, then they prepare you for NEET stuff. Then there are these government exams. So there also they need those people. So for that fact, yes. But then it's all about your management.
And did you try any artificial intelligence tools in your life? And do you have any experience? How is your response to this kind of
So
things?
AI was mostly used in my university by people to complete the assignments. But
Do they
it's
allow?
always said no that, listen, I'm just saying that only. People used to use it a lot, but when it comes to, there is a reason for calling them not teachers but professors. Okay. So they used to give us certain assignments that you try your level hard. You won't be able to do it from AI. You can't do them from AI. Like I used to really call some of my teachers literally professors for a fact, because in these places you really don't have a culture of calling somebody sir or ma'am. They treat you like equals. So like I have really seen that with them, that out of nowhere they are like, I used to call certain people professor for this fact, because they are very clever by their brain. They know what they want to bring out of you, and they will do it. Like write a reflection on XYZ visit to your this school. They will literally send you for 1 month or 2 months to that school just for a visit. Just go there, just observe what is happening and come back and reflect. and then they'll ask you to do something on that. How would you copy that? There's no way. So AI, yes, we all use it, but just to maybe, let's say, improvise, or just to check the grammar check or the spell check, nothing more. A few people are damn smart than we could even think of. And also there is this thing that I believe that there is AI, artificial intelligence is very good taken, but there also has to be some human intelligence. Now what happens if I ask you to do this, you will do it with AI. Where is your brain working? So what is the need of this knowledge base if there is AI? So maybe I'm from that old school kind of thought that
No,
I
no,
believe that
actually, that is
humans
true,
need to
but
have.
you know, I'm just asking, maybe you have used in to make some small intro or some converting image
Never.
into video and improve your
No.
something like that.
The thing is that I knew using all this. There was this online course that I did, so I know using all this. But I believe if I have to really challenge myself, I need to really think. So what I used to do, I used to do the whole thing by my own self, and
Mm-hmm.
then I used to put on it just to check what would it say. So
Mm-hmm.
because if I'll do everything with AI, then I would have a rustic feeling in my head deep down. I have
Okay.
seen people doing everything with AI, and then when you ask them, even to just write a simple reflection of 10 lines, they are not able to. So I don't want to be handicapped by AI for sure. And that's my
Okay.
stand on the question.
And you are also thinking in a way that you start as an example. Maybe you remember I explained about one of my teacher who teach me English, and his material means audio cassettes and the uh, other material written by him in English language. So it is used by other coaching institute, other classes. So miss, do you also try to, maybe as you are writing a blogs on different thoughts, but you also try to make this kind of content maybe which can be useful, or maybe some of these publishers, you, by watching or seeing your content, maybe some publishers want to
Not
write
by
some
writing,
part.
not in terms of writing. Not in terms of writing. But yes, when it comes to, there are a lot of students of mine whom I teach and who have literally suggested me that, ma'am, you should try this online. But I just feel sometimes that for studying part, there's a lot of channels who are doing fabulous job, and I don't think that I'll be able to justify that much. And for that fact, I'm staying away from that for sure. But
Mhm.
yes, maybe that's a feedback that I've gotten from a lot of students, because I don't teach them like you need to read a line. I'll quote one fictional incident, okay, and then from that, and this brings me to this poem, and I will make them all close their books,
Mhm.
and they'll be like, okay, maybe they will feel that I'm telling something about my life, which is not my life, which is a fictional life that I create just to create a base of that chapter. And they're so much into that story, and gradually with that story of mine, I'll give the summary of the chapter via that. And then I'll be like, in the end, I'm like, okay, and this was the story of this XYZ chapter.
Mhm.
And literally this used to happen by the end of the academic year. My students were like, if I was like, do you know what happened? And they're like, ma'am, we know you are completing another chapter. Huh? Don't try this with us. And even when a simple conversation, they're like, ma'am, we know you're completing a chapter. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not doing that. So maybe if this strategy it's good, I should try. But
Mhm.
maybe like I have this gut feeling that there are more better people sitting out there to help
You are
students,
that better
which
people. Actually, you are that better person. You can
uh,
produce.
thanks for the compliment again, Jay,
You can
but I
produce.
just feel that
As an example, if you see, or if you have a means, if you heard audios of Osho. So Osho
mm-hmm.
have a very deep knowledge, and the way you explain the things with examples and stories, he also do the same thing. And after watching his videos and audios, lot of other spiritual gurus, when you hear them, motivational speakers, when you hear them, they are also using the same stories to explain something which was used by Osho. And maybe Osho was also using some another stories he maybe read at that time, maybe you reading Bhagavad Gita or any other thing, and in that way he have that kind of thinking, and after whatever he speak, he speak with explanation and lot of understanding. So basically you are also doing that to teach English, and in that
Yeah.
way, so basically, I want to say that the audios of Osho still are kind of alive right now. So maybe if you make maybe audio video content or written content, maybe it will use because as an example, the content is available by maybe written by Oxford or Stanford or that kind of publishers. The examples they give, it's not relevant to Indian context sometimes. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
maybe you are using some Indian context in your classroom. So this is just an idea. Right now you are busy, but
Yeah.
maybe in
Yeah.
future you
Right.
can also have a time. If you can start doing small steps. If you have time, you can do it as well.
Sure, I'll take that into consideration. Thanks for the confidence building, by the way, Jay.
Yeah.
Good work.
So actually, yeah, this is very interesting thing. I always compare a lot of motivational speakers because I listen lot of Osho audios. So I find out that this motivational speaker used this example from his audiobooks.
Hmm.
So I comment
There
them.
were couple of my students who I just met, and they, really, I don't know what is wrong with them or stuff. They really come to me and they literally just sometimes says that, ma'am, like you should try this, you should try that. So, I have just got this habit because I have gotten numerous feedback from them where they're like, ma'am,
Yeah.
you should put it online. And ma'am, you are gonna blast the stage out of it. And there are people who are like, ma'am, if I ask them to subscribe my channel, I have a very small channel. And if I ask them, you do subscribe, they're like, ma'am, please कोई पढ़ाने का मत बताना. So, that's because of that, I'm not putting that content in there. There are students who are saying, ma'am, you should try into,
Yeah.
again, some are like saying teaching, some are saying, ma'am, you should try stand up. I
Yeah.
said, I can just stand up. That's enough for me. They're like, no, ma'am, you should start do stand up comedy once. Like, do it for us once. Because, that's what I do today also. There was this 2-period session that I got with my students, and I made them sit in a circle. Okay. And I started making them do the activity where they are getting to touch each other.
Mhm.
Because I saw in my students that they were like, oh, like someone touches. So they'll be like, oh, someone touched me. Not
Mhm.
in a very positive way. So I made them do an activity. Now, if I'll ask them to do, they won't do. So I started doing it with them. I started rushing towards them. I said, now we are not allowed to touch anybody. Okay. You have to walk, but close to each other. And you have to put your hand in hand like that. And there'll be 2 people standing besides you. And, in the end, they all were like, oh, ma'am, we loved it. So, they were like, ma'am, you should put it online. I said, there's no way this is going to work. Again, I believe that there's a lot of confidence building from a lot of people, but still,
Yeah.
in my head, it is somewhere that,
It's
there
okay.
are, again, best
Yeah.
people sitting out there which have more knowledge base than me. So once I'll develop that base for sure, maybe someday you'll see that content right on Soumya Sharma captures.
Actually, I feel that these days everybody are consuming a lot of social media. That's why they also want to digitize everything, record. So in that way, also they are
Yeah,
saying something like that. If if
absolutely.
kids giving phones in the classroom, they are also recording everything and put it online. It's a kind of habit of everyone.
Yeah, true. In my class, I have this very weird habit. People find it weird. I don't. I ask everyone to close their books. You're not allowed to open books in my class.
Mhm.
You're not allowed to do so. You have to close your book. And when it comes to, I just have this very habit of changing my pitch. I'll be scream on the top of my voice, and
Mhm.
then suddenly my pitch will go low. And if you're focused on a book, on those print text, you won't be able to get the teaching experience I want to offer you.
Mhm.
And really, like whatever I'm seeing related to teaching, and this is not what I'm just saying for saying sake.
Mhm.
I really do it in the class. And I used people, you were like, there are a lot of people, okay, which is, this conversation is a bit off track, but still I would like to put, there are a lot of technical people, okay, who haven't had this type of education and don't even have this thing in their head. And then, they just try to hamper the way I teach, like anything.
Mm-hmm.
They'll try their level hard that I should stop it. Because what happens with this type of teaching, because students are getting a belief that, okay, there is somebody out there to listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that fact, they would eventually love you the way you are. And once they love the way the teacher is, then they are going to take the stand for the teacher, which might not be liked by others. And then, that particular teacher faces a lot of stuff out of that.
So basically,
So maybe
you are
there's
talking about office politics kind of thing, because you are getting
I
popular
would
in.
I would pertain myself to using that word, but I think
Yeah, I
the
also
science
face
is
this
enough
thing.
for the intellectual.
I also face this kind of thing because if you are getting popular because of your any kind of nature or maybe your skills, the people who don't like, they will start trying to create problems. Backstabbing.
They're level hard. They're level hard.
So
So
this kind of thing
that
happened
I
with
just
me.
take it that this is life.
It's difficult. So after some time, I try to not be always natural. Uh, Try to. It's not possible to make happy means to keep happy everyone, but still I try to manage. So I don't need to
I believe you can't make
after.
happy everyone, so maybe you can make happy yourself. Like for yourself, you can do that. And I believe for now, I'm doing it for my own self. I'm just having the satisfaction that whatever I'm doing, I'm justifying the job I am in. And
Yeah,
that's a satisfaction I sleep with, for sure.
it's cool. And yeah, what kind of books do you read or suggest if you like to share in general? Because it's very big field, but still.
Mhm. Okay, so I have this small library of my own read books. So, I love to read. So
Mhm.
one of the book that I would really suggest, I am more into self-help, business, and fictional kind of stuff. I used to never read any fictional book. I used to find them, I'll be very honest, I used to find this very waste of time. Okay. And I was
Self-help
very
book,
adamant on not fictional books.
fictional books are okay.
Fiction. The genre I'm talking of is fiction. So I was like very, concise that I won't try that. And once I still remember I was on the airport and I saw this book, white and red cover. And I just don't know what happened. I just felt so much attracted towards that cover only that I thought I just need to read it once. So now when it comes to, I suggest two books to everybody. One is Eight Signs of Love by Jay Shetty. It's just not about what we think of it. It's more about self-love and mindfulness, which is very important.
Motivational
Very, very
speaker, right?
important.
Jay Shetty means what?
Jay
He
Shetty.
is a motivational speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Shetty is. So first book is Eight Signs of Love by Jay Shetty, and the other book is, which is not that popular, but the other book is From Ouch to Oops by Ram G. Vallat. He's a
Mhm.
Marathi,
Writer.
Maharashtra-based fellow who is now in America and stuff. But
Mhm.
there was this book which is basically his biography.
Mhm.
But once you'll read it, you'll just get through, you'll just get that enthusiasm. And there is also another book that I'm currently reading, which also I would suggest to people is No Rules Rules by Reed Hastings. I
Mhm.
really like that book because that talks a lot of things about the organization as a whole. All
Mhm.
those people who really want to, let's say, someday have an organization and with a good culture, sustainable organization which works even without the leader, then a good leader is very important. But let's say the leader has to go on a vacation. So, the organization needs to be set on its own foot. So that book I think is
It's
really,
also
really
good.
good.